Jai Hind. Welcome to Greenhorn Academy, which is the Defense Preparatory Academy. Candidates, today we'll make an endeavor to understand what is the PIQ form, which is also called as Personal Information Questionnaire, and why the PIQ form is the key to success in SSB interview. Candidates, we have divided our video or the presentation in three stages. In stage 1, we will discuss what is the PIQ form, what is the importance of the PIQ form, what information the IO or the psychologist takes out from the PIQ form, how to fill the PIQ form, and what are the key takeaways. In the stage 2, we will discuss what are the fear and apprehensions of the candidates while filling the PIQ form, and we would also like to show you some sample filled PIQ form. In stage 3, we would like to discuss what all questions can be generated from your own PIQ form, and we will take the example from the forms filled by the RMC candidates, Sainik School candidates, NCC candidates, and the Technical Graduate Entry Scheme candidates. Now, candidates, what are the instructions before seeing this video? To best utilize this video, it is recommended to download and print two sets of PIQ form so that you can fill the PIQ form in the manner we desire. You are supposed to fill the first form in pencil while watching the video based on the various options available, so that after the video you can analyze what all alterations and corrections can be made in your PIQ form. In the second PIQ form, you are supposed to use a gel or a ball pen and fill the form without any cutting and corrections in legible and readable handwriting. PIQ form consists of 2 pages wherein you have to fill your personal information. Candidates, before we dwell further on the PIQ form, let's find out what is the importance of the PIQ form. It is by means of PIQ form the interviewing officer or the IU forms the first impression about the candidate even before meeting him in person. The interviewing officer makes a mental makeup about the candidate, and he gets an overall picture of candidate's predictable behavior in terms of his family and socio-economic background, what are his strong points and weaknesses, what he has achieved so far, his career path and mid-course correction, and which direction is the candidate going in life. Next, what are his academics and sports and game performances over the years and developed in his formative years? What are the candidate's hobbies, interests, and his participation in the extracurricular activities? So, candidates, what are the key takeaways? The form should be filled purposely in order to draw the attention of the IU. The PIQ form forms the basis of all sets of questions asked by the IU during the interview in form of probing questions to arrive at your true personality. IU assessment and evaluation of the candidate is based on the leads generated by the candidate's PIQ form. Going further, what emerges out of the PIQ form filled by a candidate? The candidate's true personality emerges out of his PIQ form. What are the challenges and the problem he has faced in life so far, and how he has been able to handle these challenges and problems, and what is the impact of this problem and challenges in his personality. It also gives clues to the assessor, both the IO and the psychologist, whether the candidate has emerged as a winner or otherwise after facing the problems or challenges in life. What was the attitude of the candidate during these difficult times, and how his personality has been shaped and developed over the years. PIQ form also gives the telltale signs of the candidate with respect to his contribution towards the society, family and friends, and how the same has enhanced his personality. Therefore, the key takeaways are: the first, an everlasting impression is being formed by the PIQ form, and the correct filling of the PIQ form is very crucial and important for selection in an SSB interview. Now, answering the mute question, how to fill your PIQ form. Here are the some general guidelines. The first is your handwriting. Your handwriting should be good, legible and readable. Preferably use all capital letters if your handwriting is not good, because it would be easier for the assessor, both the interviewing officer and the psychologist to comprehend what you have filled. Next, do not try to compress words as enough space is available in the PIQ form itself. Avoid cuttings and spelling mistakes as it forms poor impression about the candidate. Next are your personal details. Do not try to hide your personal details in terms of your socio-economic background, as candidates who are hailing from a high socio-economic background does not guarantee your success in an SSB interview. Third, there is a misnomer among candidates that we must boast or exaggerate to form an impression about themselves in the mind of IU. However, that is not true. It will sooner or later IU will be able to reveal your true personality. Therefore, do not lie and be honest in revealing the truth in your best interest. A well-filled PIQ form reflects certain officer-like qualities about the candidate, whether he is a methodical or organized in his workspace. Second, using the space as a resource. It also gives about the intelligence and the logical reasoning in the candidate. To conclude, the good PIQ form is half the battle won by the candidate. Now, we'll make an attempt to explain step by step how to fill a PIQ form. Boys and girls, considering the space constraint in a slide, we have screenshotted your PIQ form into various parts for easier assimilation and effective learning. Now, candidate, first thing I would like to tell you that your PIQ form is a confidential form, which means all your personal details will be kept confidential and will not be shared with anyone else. So do not worry about being communicated to someone else, and therefore be truthful and honest in your approach. Second, the PIQ form has been designed by DIPR, which stands for Defense Institute of Psychological Research, DRDO, New Delhi. On the top right hand corner, your performance during your screening in OIR test will be recorded before the form reaches your assessors in terms of both the interviewing officer and the psychologist. Your OIR rating ranges from 1 to 4 for the candidates who are screened for the second phase of the SSB interview. Higher OIR rating shows your competence in the form factor 1. And the key takeaways would be truthful in approach and get higher OIR rating for you getting screened in for the second stage of the SSB interview. Now, boys and girls, what are the officer-like qualities in the form factor 1, that is planning and organization? The first, effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability and the communication skills. To understand the concept of officer-like qualities, see our video on the officer-like qualities. Boys and girls, for screening in, the OIR test is the most important test. The OIR test comprises of 100 marks for number of type of questions which are asked, and you have been graded after evaluating your OER test. The candidates are graded in 5 categories ranging from OIR 1 to OIR 5 and with marks ranging from 91 to 100 for OIR 1 and less than 60 marks for the OIR 5. The OIR 1 and 2 candidates are considered pass, whereas OIR 3 and 4 are considered borderline and OIR 5 are considered fail. All those candidates whose OIR rating after being evaluated comes to OIR 5 are not considered for screening in for the stage 2 of the SSB. In your PPDD test, your assessors, that is the GTO, IO and the psych, grades you in 3 parts, that is D for doubtful, N for not recommended and Y for recommended. Candidates, all those who are recommended for screening in for the stage 2, OIR test is the most important, which means if you attain a OIR rating of 1 having marks from 91 to 100, even out of the 3 assessors, 1 assesses you as a doubtful, you are likely to make for the stage 2 of the SSB. However, if a candidate attains a OIR rating of 2, the 2 assessors has to grade you doubtful 2 so that you reaches the stage 2 of the interview. In short, the aim is to get a higher OIR rating for the final selection in SSB and making in the overall merit. To conclude, to understand the concept how a candidate is graded in OIR and PPDD for screening in for the stage 2 of the SSB interview, see our video on OIR and PPDD. Candidates, by now you must have all realized the importance of OIR rating for getting screened in for the second stage of an SSB interview. Now coming back to your PIQ form, serial number 1 reads selection board number in place. You are requested to write your SSB number, for example 17 SSB Bangalore or 19 SSB Allahabad, or where you have been assigned the SSB center. In batch number, you are requested to write your exam followed by your number. In the chest number is the number which has been allotted to you by the SSB center. In case of single digits, it would be preferable you would write 01 rather than writing single digit 1. In case of double digit, simply write the double digit. In fourth, UPSC or the roll number, you just supposed to write the examination admit card roll number. For example, 23456, 13425 or whatever your exam UPSC examination roll number is. Serial number 2 reads as name in capital. You are requested to write your name as recorded in your class 10 certificate. Names to be exactly written what is there in your class 10 certificate. 2 examples have been shown. Serial number 3, father's name. You are supposed to write the official name as recorded in the proof of identity of the father. In case your father is an IPS officer or a doctor or a warrant officer, you are requested to write IPS in a bracket, MBBS or the warrant officer in front of his name. In case your father is a serving army officer, you are supposed to prelude his rank before his name. In case he is retired, you are supposed to write retired in bracket after his name. This additional details shows the interviewing officer your methodological and your approach towards doing things. Now coming on to the serial number 4, which is the place where you have resided. and it is divided in three parts: the place of maximum residence, place of present residence, and place of permanent residence, along with the place, district, and the state. In addition, you are also supposed to write whether the place of your permanent residence is a district headquarter or not. To substantiate, we are given certain examples. First, take the example of place of maximum residence. The place of maximum residence is the place where you have stayed most in your life. For example, if I take the case of Dehradun, Dehradun would be the place, district headquarter being Dehradun, and state Uttarakhand. Separate the three places by commas as given in the PIQ form itself. You are also supposed to write what is the approximate population of the place. In doing so, you are requested to check and again recheck with the government website. To clarify and leave no doubt or ambiguity, you are supposed to write the population census year. For example, in case of Dehradun, it is 17 lakh in the year counted as per 2011 population census. In case of a candidates who belong to Sainik schools or RIMC, their place of maximum residence will itself become the school or the institute. If you have taken example of Satara Sainik School where a candidate is appearing, so his choices would be Satara would be the place, district headquarter would again be Satara, and Maharashtra would be the state, followed by population of 30 lakhs as counted in the population census of the year 2011. Boys and girls, I am specifying why the population census to be written is because different websites may give a different population census. So to clarify the doubt and leave no stones unturned, it is best to write even the population census. Now coming to serial Bravo, that is the B, place of present residence. It is the place where you are residing at the present. For example, a boy who has done schooling from the Sainik School Satara after passing class 12th has come back to his present residence, and that is Delhi. So we write Delhi for the place, Delhi for the district as well as for the state, and the population of 1.9 crore based on 2012 population census. Now coming on to para C, that is the place of permanent residence. Let's take a case where the boy is from Sainik School Godakhal, whose place of maximum residence would be Sainik School Godakhal. His present residence would be Delhi, and his permanent residence would be the village, or we have taken example of the village Sitlakhet in district Almora and state Uttarakhand with the population census. Now we are also supposed to write what is whether the district, whether the permanent residence is a district headquarter or not. In case of Sitlakhet, it would be no. If it would have been the case of Dehradun, it would have been yes. Now, before concluding the slide, I would request all the candidates to take population feedback from the state government website and cross-check for confirmation and leaving no ambiguity or doubts. Candidates now will be discussing how the PIQ form needs to be filled at serial number 5, 6 and 7. In serial number 5, it's written state and district. So do not make the mistake of writing district followed by the state. To substantiate, we have written Uttarakhand and Almora. However, in case the name of the state and the district does not fit in the space provided, you can write the state on top followed by district beneath it. Second, the religion. Write your religion: Hinduism, Sikhism, Muslim or Christianity. Third, whether SC, ST or OBC. If no, simply write no. If yes, write yes followed by SC, ST or OVC in the bracket. Next, your mother tongue. Mother tongue is the language your mother speaks to you at home in majority of the time. For example, if a candidate is hailing from Almora, Uttarakhand, his mother tongue could be Kumaoni and Hindi, or it could be simply Kumaoni. Same goes with Marathi, Telugu, Hindi or Gujarati. In case of date of birth, try to use the DD, MM, YYY format because it is easier to comprehend and it will fit in as per the space provided for the same. In the married, single or the widower status, write your present marital status. Now, coming on to serial number 6, the question reads, the parents alive. If both the parents are alive, candidate is requested to write simply yes. In case either one is dead, you are supposed to write no, and to substantiate or clarify, you are supposed to write either mother or father and the date of in which your mother or father expired in. If both your parents are not alive, you are supposed to write no, mother expired in year so and father expired in year so and so. In second, if both parents are alive, simply write not applicable or NA. If either one is dead, you are supposed to write the age when the parent have expired. For example, 10 years and 6 months, your mother or father expired. In case both the parents are no more, you are supposed to write the age in which your mother and father expired, and the same has been substantiated as shown on the slide. Candidates, now continuing with the form, parents, guardians and siblings, occupation and income is to be written next. First comes the father, wherein you are supposed to write the education of your father, easy matric, class 12th pass, BA, BTech, mechanical, MBBS, MD or whatever. Whatever you write, substantiate and write very legible. In case of his occupation, the options could be farmer, businessman, government servant, Indian Navy, and in case if he is government servant, it would be prudent to substantiate with which department he is working. For example, Department of Fisheries or the Indian Postal Service, or in case if he is a service officer or a service other ranks, you are supposed to substantiate whether working or whether he is retired. In case of income per month, do not write income per year, which the large number of candidates make this mistake. The income per month can be simply written as rupees 25,000, or if the case would be 2 lakhs, it could be written both in figures or words. In case you have written your father has expired in the form as earlier suggested, you are supposed to write how the family is being looked after. Either it is by means of monthly pensions or monthly savings. By writing so, in case your father is not alive, it clearly gives the assessor how the family is surviving, and it also helps in evaluating your true personality. In case your parents are not alive, then only bring out the guardian, whether she is there or either both your parents are dead. Boys and girls, in the form, the space has been provided in case you have either 2 brothers or 2 sisters. However, in case you have 3 brothers or 3 sisters, just cut the elder or the younger and amend the form accordingly. Candidates, moving ahead to serial number 7. First, it talks about your education, name of the institute, board of the university where your institute belongs to, year of passing, the marks what was the medium of instruction, whether you were a boarder or a day scholar, and if there were any outstanding achievements by you. In first space, you are supposed to write, we have taken example of an RIMC candidate where we have written RIMC and his board would be CBSE, year of passing 2018, his CGPA or the percentage could be written next. The medium of instruction, English. Now in case of an RIMC candidate, it's a boarder, or if it's case of a normal this thing, it could be day scholar. You are supposed to write any outstanding achievement in class 10. It could be he was an academic topper or distinction in math, or he was taken part in debate, declamation, any other activity. Boys and girls, do not fill your achievement in sports, as there is a separate column which has been given to you at the later part of the form. Similarly, fill the form in 10 plus 2, that is the 12th, in graduation or the post graduation, but whatever you fill it very legibly and try to write one or two outstanding achievements during those years. Moving on to serial number 8, 9 and 10. Now the next serial talks about your age, your height and weight. Let's take first the age, as to be mentioned in years and months, which could be simply taken out by subtracting your date of birth with the present date. It is to be written in years and months. Next, your height. You are supposed to write your height in meters and not in feet and inches. It has been observed that a large number of candidates make the mistake of writing their height in feet and inches. Next comes the weight, and it is to be written in kilograms. By seeing this column, it gives a fair idea to the interviewing officer with respect to the candidate's fitness level by means of his body mass index. For example, if a candidate height is 1.75 meters, his ideal weight can be arrived at by subtracting 100 from 175 meters, which could ideally be 75 kgs. To conclude, all those candidates who are attempting to join Indian Defence Forces should be physically fit. Therefore, it is requested that the candidate should get in shape before the interview, and at least they should not be on the obese side. Serial number 9 reads that present occupation and present monthly income, if any. Boys and girls, if you are a student, write student, comma, income nil, which simply says your present occupation as a student and you are not earning anything. However, if you are a graduate or if you are a service candidate, you are supposed to write either engineer, doctor, executive or a service candidate, and you are supposed to write your income. However, you are again supposed to write your monthly income and not yearly income. In case, even if you are a student and you are earning some income by means of tuitions or by means of a part-time job in a coaching institute, grocery shop or shopping mall, do not hesitate. It only reflects you are resourceful and you can earn also. In serial number 10, it talks about whether you have done some kind of NCC training or not. If you have not done any NCC training, simply write no. If you are a NCC candidate, write yes, followed by how many years of training you have done in NCC. For example, if a graduate student must have done 3 years of training, or if he is in a 5th semester, he must have done 2.5 years of NCC training. Similarly, write the big in terms of Army, Navy or the Air Force. In the division, it is either the junior division or the senior division, and what is the kind of certificate you obtain, B certificate, C certificate or any other achievement. Serial number 11 reflects your participation in games and sports. it is advised to all the aspiring candidates to understand what is the difference between games and sports. What is the difference between interest, hobbies and passion, and what are the extracurricular activities? In serial number 11, you write whether you participate in whichever games and what duration you have participated, and have you represented your school, college or the university or the other, and what was your outstanding achievement while playing that game or the sport. Same goes for the extracurricular activities. Dear candidates, this slide shows what are the parameters while considering an event to be a sport or games. To understand the concept of games and sports, passion, hobbies and interests along with the extracurricular activities, see our video on the same. Dear candidates, by now you must have understood what is the importance of filling the PIQ form right. Now what are the key takeaways while filling a PIQ form? Maintain a good and a legible handwriting without any cuts or overwriting. Second, the psychologist and the interviewing officer uses a PIQ form for forming an opinion on the candidate's socio-economic background card and forming a mental makeup with respect to your predictable behavior, or what does he expect from the candidate once he meets him during the interview, to assess his true personalities and ask the probing questions to assure him of the same. Third, PIQ form gives the overall picture about the candidate to his assessors in an SSB interview. Therefore, the PIQ form should be purposely written by the candidate to draw the attention of the IU. All sets of questions which are asked by the IO in for probing the candidate to arrive at his true personality. IO's assessment and evaluation of the candidate is always based on the leads generated by the PIQ form. Good PIQ form is half the battle of the interview. It's like good posturing for an army before the battle. Therefore, while filling in the form, be honest and truthful, as it would be difficult for you to lie in your personal interview at a later stage. The most important thing for getting screened in is to get higher marks in the OER rating for final selection in SSB and making in the oral merit. A large number of questions will be asked and will be based on whatever you have filled in the PIQ form in terms of your interest in your hobbies, games and the sports which you have mentioned in your PIQ form. Boys and girls, if you perfect the art of filling the PIQ, you can moderate the question you wish your IU should ask you. And to conclude, honestly fill the details if you have attempted earlier and there is no tag called repeaters in SSB. With this, I wish you best of luck for your forthcoming SSB interview and Jai Hind. Candidates, we have completed the first stage of the PIQ form. For the second stage of the PIQ form, wherein we will be showing you sample filled PIQ form of the RIMC candidates, Sainik School candidates, NCC candidates and the technical graduate candidates. In the third stage, we will be making an endeavor to tell you what all questions can be generated by the way the candidates of RIMC, Sainik School, NCC, technical graduate or the other fill their PIQ form. With this, I wish you very best of luck for your forthcoming SSB interview. Thank you and keep watching our YouTube channel for the Greenhorn Academy, which is the Defense Preparatory Academy. Jai Hind.